Ontological shock, the state of being forced to question one's worldview. Every single top-level scientist, when prompted about the existence of extraterrestrial life, would say that due to the near infinite scale of the universe, it is highly probable that life exists elsewhere. The vast majority of people believe this to be true. However, that does not mean that this realization has sunk in. Instead, we know this fact intellectually. However, functionally, it makes no difference to our lives. It's either an event which will happen in the far future, or is so improbable that it isn't worth thinking about. To accept that alien life is a functional consequence to our existence would be difficult for anyone that up to this point only accepted this possibility in the abstract. Up until recently, I was in the same boat. If you're the average person, the UFOs and abductees are mostly relegated to the margins of your mind. These incidents seem impossible and highly unlikely. After all, people are deceptive. However, reality is much more complicated. In fact, I believe it to be very confronting. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I would just like to lay out the path which I took to reach these conclusions. Like anyone, I've had serious doubts about this entire topic. The UFO research community has a stark distinction in the levels of information available. It's either complete fabrication and mental illness, or highly credible and highly corroborated accounts and people. There are many hypotheses for why we don't see evidence of alien life, and one that I subscribed to was the Great Filter. The universe is a perilous place. Our own world has experienced many extinction events, and our species was at one point reduced to a tiny number. At any point in our evolutionary timeline, including today, we're incapable of preventing our own demise. Disease, natural disasters, and even our own aggression can take us out of the race. In combination with the ever-expanding distances between our galaxies, it would seem unlikely that we would even live long enough as a species to encounter another along the same path as ours. This seemed like the most reasonable position. I was unprepared for the amount of compelling evidence that existed for alien life and even its interaction with us. I want to be clear. No one has ever produced hard physical proof of alien life as far as we know. Some unidentified material has been found. Depending on who you ask, UFO cases go back to the dawn of human history. Some interesting images in the Bible and curious passages from old texts are very cool for the lore. However, they're difficult to corroborate, and the further back you go, the less information there is. So, let's begin. 62 students in Rua, Zimbabwe claim to have seen a UFO.
Can you just tell me very briefly, if we go along, just say what your name is and what you saw?
Nathaniel Coxall.
What did you see?
There was some like ship landed on the ground.
Why do you say ship? Did it have a shape?
Yes.
Like what?
It had a round top and it was flat like that around the sides.
What was around the side?
Just so like a platform coming down the side.
Did you see anything else?
Yes, we saw a black man running around. Just
a little man or what?
From where we looked, he was about this small, but we were quite way away, so he was about our size.
Now, this can be debunked by simply stating that this was a case of mass hysteria. After all, how discerning can little kids really be? 2 mass sightings were reported on the same date at Westall High School. This time, the UFO was also seen by a teacher. Here's what they saw.
Almost cylindrical or cigar-shaped object.
All these years later, the students draw what they witnessed. They claim one landed in a park, then took off.
Alright, so perhaps another case of mass hysteria and a weather balloon. So, according to the official report, the students can't discern between a UFO and a weather balloon, and the teacher was drunk. The next case we have is from Papua New Guinea. Father William Gill, an Australian missionary, and 37 members of his mission all claim to have seen a UFO.
Can you imagine what it's like to look up in the sky and see a totally foreign-looking object there just hovering, not very far high up, maybe 200 or 300 feet up in the air, and glowing, and 2 bipods jutting out from behind it, from underneath it, and sparkling all around, and some figures up there. this solid-looking object and figures walking about on top and not the slightest noise whatsoever. And so we waved. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could get this object down onto the playing field? And as we waved, wondering whether we'd get some recognition and whether perhaps they would understand what we wanted, they waved back. So I asked a boy to go quickly down, bring me a torch, bring me a pencil, bring me paper, and return as quickly as he can so that I can get or any other events that occur, minute-by-minute movements, so that at least we'd be able to talk about it the next day.
The official explanation for this case was that the group had seen Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. Yes, you heard me right. The official explanation was that they saw planets. Next, we have the Phoenix Lights, where thousands of people report seeing lights of various descriptions. The explanation for this case was that they saw flares. Here are the flares in comparison to the Phoenix Lights. Another more recent sighting happened in Stephenville, Texas.
January the 8th, 2008, it was approximately 6 p.m. in the afternoon. And the sun was just going down, and my buddy Mike Odom called me and says, "You want to come over and enjoy the afternoon? We'll build a campfire up on the hill and just hang out and shoot the breeze." And I said, "Sure can." The second I got out of my pickup, I noticed some lights coming at us at a very high rate of speed. I asked Mike and Lance if they was seeing what I was seeing. They replied back, "Yes, we're seeing it." We saw craft coming from the east going west. Had extremely large lights like a magnesium flare. Almost burnt your eyes to look at it. And it was moving extremely fast, faster than any normal aircraft that we have around here. And as we watched it, we saw that it had two F-16 jets in hot pursuit after it, chasing it. And I know what a F-16 is. I go to air shows and pretty familiar with aircraft. It was unbelievable. It left us all in shock. You know, it was out of this world.
All right, so what's the deal with all this mass hysteria? Am I right? These cases are definitely not the gold standard of proof, though. But still, it's difficult to discount them altogether. In recent news, David Grush came out with claims of an unprecedented decades-long conspiracy. According to Grush, the US government is in possession of alien craft and bodies. But wait, how can a conspiracy of this magnitude be hidden for decades? Well, in truth, it's been leaking like a sieve. You only have to pay attention. David Grush is only one in a long line of whistleblowers claiming conspiracy by the US government. Here are just some who have come forward and blown the whistle. Bob Exler claimed that there was a secret reverse engineering program in place. Edgar Mitchell. He claimed that there was a cabal of insiders in the US government that were studying recovered alien bodies. This group had stopped reporting to the US president. Chaim Eshed. He claimed that the US government has been in contact with alien life for years and had signed an agreement to do scientific experiments on Earth. Paul Hellier. He claimed that a secret cabal which was in contact with ETs was also keeping and suppressing information. Nader Yousefi witnessed the UFO land on his lawn during a military operation. This is corroborated by multiple eyewitnesses and radar. Luis Elizondo claimed that the US government is in possession of extraterrestrial material. Christopher Mellon. He helped to release the 3 recent Pentagon videos. According to Mellon, he had to meet with a man in the parking lot of the Pentagon in order to receive the videos. Okay, so all these people are going crazy, and they are all going crazy in a particular direction all together. Alright, so what do we have so far? There are many mass sightings. There are also many allegations of conspiracy by people in positions of power who would ostensibly know about this. These accounts span decades. And yet, what have governments really done about this? They obfuscate, they lie, and they threaten their own citizens. Multiple US government projects have been opened to study this phenomenon. And yet, without exception, every single one of these programs has been used to disinform the people. According to Grush, even the latest Aero program doesn't have any authority to find out the truth. It will instead be used as a cover for the black projects happening behind closed doors. But I'm still not done with the evidence. Here are some videos that I consider to be credible.
At this moment is where I hear the jets flying overhead, and they're making a lot of noise. And when I look up to see the jets, what I saw was a round, huge round disc object. And I snapped these photographs.
We found in this photograph, looking at the edges, looking at light reflectivity, the angles, the proportions, indicate that this is a flying jet in pursuit of or flying around a disc-shaped object. I think that what the witness reported is what happened.
Right when I hit record, at that second, the object was passing straight over the top of my house. And what I got on tape was a disc-shaped object turned on its side with the dome this way, the bottom part this way, as it flies over my house. It suddenly does a U-turn and then jumped about 1.5 miles in like a matter of a half a second to where I couldn't even see it anymore. So I started scanning the skies for it. Finally, about 1.5 minutes later, I caught it again. And this time, when I zoomed into the object, it was a lot further away. But it seems that it was still on its side. People need to know and realize that this is a structured, domed, metallic machine that is running under its own type of propulsion system. It's running under something that we can only dream about.
Aquí lo tengo. ¿Qué pedo? Se ve poca madre. No lo creo, güey, no mames. Se ve perfecto. No mames. Se ve perfecto. Güey, no, órale. Puta, estás grabando, cabrón, no mames. Sí, está el foquito prendido. Puta madre. Se ve esa madre, padrísimo. ¿Qué pedo, qué bárbaro? No mames, ¿qué? No es un avión esa madre. ¿Qué pedo? No mames, cabrón.
So, I've tested the image for its stability, about whether it could be connected with a string or not. And I am very certain that there is no string that's connected, that it's moving on, that it's not like that there's no evidence that it's a fake.
And it's not possible physically for a balloon to move in the way the object moves. The object is standing on an invisible column of force of some kind that holds it up off the ground. This is why, as it moves across the top of the building, it tilts back and forth. It's moving the force field along to crawl forward. On balance, I'm quite sure that this video is authentic.
This is an example of one that I showed at the hearing recently. This is a spherical orb, metallic, in the Middle East, 2022, by an MQ-9. I will come back to the sensor question that David raised here in a moment. This is a typical example of the thing that we see most of. We see these all over the world, and we see these in making very interesting apparent maneuvers.
А звезды тем не менее, чуть ближе, но все так же холодны. И как в часы затмения, ждем света и земные видим сны. И снится нам не рокот космодрома, не эта ледяная синева, а снится нам трава у дома, зеленая трава.
Crop circles are also interesting. There's evidence that there has been a coordinated campaign to discredit crop circles as hoaxes. Authentic crop circles have some differentiating features. In hoax cases, the crops are broken. However, in genuine cases, the crops are simply bent and will continue to grow and then return to their original position. In addition, the affected crops produce at a higher yield. Some crop circles are messages, while others display complex mathematics. NASA also has a habit of editing pictures. As you can see in these images, they have copy and pasted clouds as well as rock formations. they have also applied so many filters to the face of Mars that it's unrecognizable. Come on, NASA.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
There are also some cases that I would consider in the gray area. They haven't been discredited, however it's difficult to ascertain their authenticity. These include Skinny Bob and the Carrot disclosure. There are also cases that go much darker, but I won't discuss them here because they're difficult to prove, and frankly the content is disturbing. However, if you do wish to go down that rabbit hole, you may find some compelling evidence. And then there's the topic of abductions. This is by far my least favorite area of evidence. However, I have to say some of the physical evidence extracted from the bodies of the abductees is definitely very intriguing. I do also have to mention that attaching yourself to this topic, whether you're abducted or you're a witness to a UFO, is highly disreputable. For this reason, I find it difficult to believe that people with otherwise very lucrative careers would put everything on the line to try to attach themselves to this topic. In addition, some of these claims about abduction are highly embarrassing.
And that's where, everyone laughs, but the typical anal probe comes in.
This makes me think that there are many more people who have these kind of experiences but will refuse to come out and talk about them. It also doesn't help that the government has ran a decades-long campaign to discredit any kind of UFO phenomena as conspiracy. So, just like most people, I rationalized this information away. And yet, I couldn't stop thinking about it. What I didn't realize was that I was internalizing all of this information. I thought that I had truly accepted that aliens must exist. However, now I was beginning to accept that they were real in a way that I hadn't before. It made me rethink everything. Many questions remain. Why are they here? What do they want from us? What do we know already? And finally, what do we do about the abduction issue? Will this issue be addressed at all? Or will these people be the price we pay to get along with our new neighbors? I don't know what will happen, but I do know not to trust governments, much less alien species. A lot of people deify these beings. They believe that it's not even possible for aliens to crash. But why would that be the case? Whatever our endeavor may be, we always expect a percentage of failure. Aliens aren't gods. Even if we improved our science for the next 1,000 years, we would still most likely be the same dumb ape. And even if we develop continuously throughout all that time, we would still not become infallible. Another claim I heard is that it's all a distraction. This argument makes no sense, because it's not distracting anyone from anything. The claims made by David Grush are not touched by any of the major news outlets, so in essence, it's a distraction that doesn't distract. The vast majority of the population doesn't know anything about this topic, and even less people know about the volume of information available. On one hand, I think we should have disclosure. On the other hand, though,
the people are retarded.
In this clip, Michio Kaku explains why the burden of proof has shifted.
Right. See, it used to be that one person would see something in the sky and say, look, Martha, look, there's something up there. Now things have changed. Now we have multiple sightings by multiple modes. That is the gold standard for looking for these objects. Not just one person, but several people that are reputable. Not just radar, but visual sighting, infrared sensors, telescopic evidence. Now we have multiple sightings by multiple modes. And so the burden of proof has shifted. It used to be the burden of proof was on the people who believed in UFOs. They saw something, prove it. Now the burden of proof has shifted to the Pentagon, to the military. Now they have to prove that these aren't extraterrestrial. And so I think there's been a sea change in the last just several years.
There is also a theory that may explain their humanoid appearance as well as their close proximity to our planet. It's called panspermia siblings. The theory basically states that life on Earth originated off-world, and at some point that life was seeded to a cluster of stars. Our star just happened to be one of them. This same blueprint would then exist within this cluster of stars. And if their blueprint was identical in the beginning, then that would explain their humanoid shape. In addition, they would only be able to live on a Goldilocks planet. So in those ways, their evolution is constrained and would most likely result in only a select set of outcomes. This idea is similar to convergent evolution, which explains why mammals that reside in the water look a lot more like their fish counterparts. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. However, haven't we already accepted that extraterrestrial life is more than likely? After all of the scientists agree on that fact. And now the proof of UFOs is undeniable. So the claim that alien life is visiting us isn't that extraordinary. It's only implausible if you accept the post hoc rationalizations for why we don't have evidence of alien life, except that we do. So rationalizations like the Great Filter no longer apply. Now that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and list off the things that we learned today. Reptilians are fighting the Nordics in a spiritual battle for our souls while the Greys harvesters and work with the Nazis who live in the moon and the Antarctic. Every book is fake, the world is light, and we're slaves.